in that profession. In Judaism, same thing. There's certain key words and key ideas that we convey. But you need to know them. That's what you have to learn. But when you go outside, you need to converse with God. So God gives you physicality. The Adam yada et ishto. Ishto is your heart. It's your ability to bring forth a child. What do I mean, child? In action. In action. Your thought, if you leave a thought, it's a cool idea. Oh, that's a great idea. But you don't act on it. That's what the Gerot Ramban says. What you learned, go outside and act. When you're hot, go outside and act. Don't leave a thought as a mere thought. And that's what Amalek was trying to do. You want to learn Torah? Learn Torah. But leave it in the Beit Midrash. Leave it in the Sfarim. We say, no. We're going outside. We're going to be mal. We're going to brit milah on the gashmiut. We're going to circumcise physicality and we're going to reveal the messages that are inside physicality. So when it says Adam yada et ishto, it doesn't just mean in a physical way. That's how we understand physical. What happens in the physical way? The man has seed. It originates in the machshava of the man, in the brain, in the thought. It then comes out into physicality. Why does that matter to us? Who cares? Why does it matter where the seed originates? It very much matters. Now you understand how powerful a thought is. People say, I just thought about it. You thought about it. A thought, sometimes a person can be mikayem mitzvah b'machshava in his thought. It says if a person was honest, he tried to do a mitzvah but he couldn't do it, but he really wanted to do it. It is machshava, he was really right there. Sometimes they'll count it as if he did it, depending on the circumstance, like he did it. Avram Avinu, it says, Avram Avinu really wanted to do Akedat Yitzchak. In the morning, there's a certain paragraph that some people say, the abit be'afro ki'ilu munach al gabei mizbeach. Look at his ashes as if, Yitzchak Avinu's ashes, as if he was placed on the mizbeach. Yitzchak wasn't sacrificed. Why do we say that? Is that lying? No. On a certain level, Avraham was fulfilling the mitzvah in his machshava so hard, so much. It came out into gashmiut. Just like the seed originates in the brain, the seed has the ability, the vitality to create. Of course, the seed needs to go into a kli, into a vessel, called the woman. What is that? That's your heart. That's your heart. You have to impregnate your heart with the thoughts. It's not enough to think them, to learn them. Impregnate the heart. When you impregnate the heart and you dwell on it, you're able to bring forth zera. You're able to bring forth a child. Now you understand why Amalek is all about kilkul habrit, shichvat zera levatala. This avon of shichvat zera levatala is one of the biggest avonot. Why? Now we understand why. Because it's the kilkul of the machshava. If you destroy a person's machshava, you destroy everything that comes after it. The machshava is the yesod, the foundation of the ma'aseh. Sof ma'aseh, machshava techila. The ma'aseh, where did it begin? In the machshava. So if there was a kilkul b'machshava, a damage in the thought, then the ma'aseh that comes out is going to be bad. Even if it's good, but it's going to have a damage to it. It says that Adam Rishon, after he separated from his wife, brings down, he was Moshech Brit, and it was Molid Shedim. Means that he was caught in the sin of Zer al-Batala, and he gave birth to demons. The simple explanation, according to what we're talking about, is that he got caught up in letting his mind wander. He got caught up in Amalek. We say, how many hours can we actually sit learning Torah? We know from the Niftar how many hours you can sit? 24 plus hours. Every moment is a Torah moment. Rav Pincus brings down that there is no clocking and clocking out. Kihem chayenu. It's as if saying, how many hours does the heart have to pump? What do you mean how many hours? 24/7. If the heart, chas v'shalom, stops pumping for a moment, we're done. In that same vein, if a person stops thinking Torah, stops living Torah for a moment, it doesn't exist. The person's machshava has to be constantly on Hashem. He might be working, he might be doing a physical act, but if his machshava is on Hashem, he's learning Torah. He's doing Torah. Amalek was born from this koach of damaging people's machshava. He loves it. He likes it. That's where he gets his sustenance from. Amalek, if the person's machshava is damaged, it's good. He finished his task. This is why it says that Adam was being molid shedim. He gave birth to things that don't have any vitality. They can't procreate. Why? Because a ma'aseh, an action that didn't have the appropriate thought, cannot procreate. It cannot lead you to another action. What does the Pirkei Avot say? Schar mitzvah, mitzvah. If you want that to be true, you have to have a machshava in it. I saw the Ben Yishchai brings down a scary thing. He says that a person can do many mitzvot, but if it's chaser, if it's lacking the machshava, another person can come and give machshava into that mitzvah and take that mitzvah from him. Take the mitzvah. Why? Because he gave birth to it. He gave birth to it. Again, the machshava is the essence of the seed. The zera is the machshava. That's why the zera originates in the machshava. You see, it says that Hashem gave the wife as an ezer kenegdo, an ezer. Ezer is similar to zera. She's only a helper when he uses her to conceive through proper thought. It's brought down in the Sfarim Kedoshim that on Shabbat, Erev Shabbat, a person is able to be molid nishamot kedoshot. He's able to give birth to holy souls. Very odd what we're talking about here. And we don't just mean on physical, we mean on the physical, but not just on the physical. As we're talking tonight, everything is relating to a spiritual counterpart. The neshama of the mitzvah is the machshava of the mitzvah. The guf of the mitzvah is the actual doing the mitzvah. We know tefillah bli kavana keguf bli neshama. A tefillah, if a person davens and says the words, but has no intent on them, it's as if it's tantamount to a body that has no soul. What's a body with no soul? It's dead. It's dead. What's a mitzvah without kavanah? It's a guf bli neshama. Guf bli neshama. So how was Amalek able to cause death? By severing the machshava, by severing the neshama from the mitzvah, they were able to cause death. This is why I told you that Amalek, what they were doing was, they were taking the orla and they were cutting it and they were throwing it to Shamayim. Why were they throwing orla to Shamayim? They said, here, Jews, what you were supposed to do was to circumcise physicality. You were supposed to reveal the interior message. But it only is possible if you attach machshava to the ma'aseh. Go back and listen to the shiur from last week on machatzit shekel. We said that what's machatzit shekel? Machatzit comes from the word chetzi, half. You were separating, right? We know the pasuk says by Amalek, kiyad al case yah. It's supposed to say kiyad al kisei Hashem. Why doesn't it say that? Because they severed the machshava from the dibur and the kol. They severed it. In the same vein, they severed orla and they threw it up to Shamayim. So now, I want to go on a deeper level. Yain. We drink wine, we get drunk, inebriated. Don't let this be, don't fool yourselves that this is a physical thing. It's just a drink. But it's talking about spirituality. The Ben Yishchai brings down that when a person brings the kos, he's supposed to look inside the kos. And he should see on one end, with one eye, he should see 5 havaya, and with the other eye, he should see 5 havaya. Why 5 havaya and 5 havaya? What's going on here? First of all, 5 havaya is Yud Kei Vav Kei, it's 26. 5 of them, 26 times 5, is 130 kiminyan ayin. Ayin, the word ayin, ayin yudun, your eye, is actually equal to the numerical value of 5 times Havaya. Okay, it's an interesting idea. But why are we looking inside the wine? What's inside the wine? What am I looking for? So he says, look at your metzach. Look at your forehead. What are you talking about? So I want to talk about it because this is relevant to Purim. We said that Adam, for 130 years, he was separated from his wife. At that time, he separated his machshava. His wife is called his action. He separated from his action, his machshava, for 130 years. At that time, he was molid shichvat zera levatala. He took zera, he took seed, he took machshava, but he didn't use it for anything. He threw it out. When Yaakov Avinu goes to Mitzrayim, Paro asks him, "How old are you? How old are you?" So he tells them, "The years of my life, 130 bad years." 130 bad years. Say how old you are. No, he's not asking you how good. 130 bad years. Chazal tell us that he was referring to the 130 years of Adam Rishon, when he severed the machshava from the dibur and the maaseh. Adam Rishon went through an Amalek stage. At that moment, he scattered seed. He scattered his machshava. His ma'asim were just floating out there. They were kiguf met. Kiguf bli neshama. So Yaakov had to do a tikkun. Yaakov lived for 130 bad years. He was being metaken Adam Rishon. When you're looking in the kos yain, I told you on Erev Shabbat, you're able to be molid neshamot. To be molid neshamot means that for 6 days you were learning Torah. You were being matmid, you were in the physicality, you were in the physical world. You were taking the parables, the chashmal, and you were uncovering them. Now comes Shabbat. Now you're going to do the best. Now you're going to use all the machshava to be molid neshamot. You're going to influence all the ma'asim that you had during the week with the beautiful machshavot. So when you're looking at the kos yayin, you're going to see ayin and ayin. See your two eyes. 130. 130. What's the 130? What's going on here? So I told you 5 havaya. What's 5 havaya? Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, and Hod. The 5 that we used to create the world. Remember that I told you when we created the world, that's how we did it? We had these 5 concepts, but we needed somebody to bring them down into the world. Erev Shabbat, you're using yayin. Nichnas yayin yatsa sod. What's the secret? You revealed the way by which you're going to transfer those 5, the 5 of creation, Pesach, Shavuot, Sukkot, Purim, and Chanukah. Great ideas. How do you bring them to you? Nichnas yain. Bring some wine inside. You're going to create yesod. You're going to create a vehicle by which you're going to bring into your machshava the ma'asim. All those ma'asim that you had, during the week that maybe didn't have certain machshavot, on Erev Shabbat, you're able to be molid machshava into your ma'asim. It's a big thing. It's chidush. When you're going to take your kos yain, you're not going to take a kos yain this week. You're going to say, whoa, I'm impregnating into my mind all these, I'm doing a tikkun here. You're being mitaken with your eyes, and that's why dafka with the eyes. V'lo taturu harei einechem. The eye sees and the machshava thinks it. That's why the idea of shmirat ha'inayim is so important. It's such a counterbalance to Amalek. Amalek wants you to let your eyes see, let your eyes go wherever it needs to go. We say, no, if we let our eyes go, it's going to mitamtem our machshava. It's going to ruin the machshava.